Hello everybody, my name is the Squid HQ, and this is a video that is posted on the Kingdom Crashers official YouTube channel. I'm basically like I guess the quote-unquote YouTuber of this network. If you want to check out my channel, link will be in the description. But this video is about the owner of Kingdom Crashers. His name is, well, Kingdom Crashers. He is the owner slash founder of the entire network, and this is a Q&A that is just questions that was asked to him by people who just needed to ask questions. He will be doing these quite often. If you want to know when he's going to do it, either check out the Twitter or go on to Discord, which both will be in the description below. If you want to know more, feel free to comment and ask more questions, and in future Q&A it will be answered there. So I hope you guys like it and enjoy.
I'm one of the founders of Kingdom Crashers. There's another founder named Tomo Graphics. He's more of like a silent partner, just here to help out. And so if you ever have like questions that you need answered, feel free to ask me, AJCL, or Elizabeth. So basically what I do on the server is I do a lot of project management and business side of the server stuff. So if you ever have questions related to the staff team or creative stuff, you'd go to AJ for the staff team, or more of the creative stuff to Nick. And then we also have a new administrator who we just added, Jack, or his Discord name is Googles. And so he's going to be working with AJ in the administration department. So AJ, if you want to introduce yourself, you can do so now.
All right, thank you. So hey guys, my name's AJ. On the Discord, I'm AJCL, and I'm the community administrator. And pretty much I handle all staff, anything dealing with staff, team issues, any issues you may have in players, also in game moderation, handling forums, and helping tag on making sure everything's on time, pretty much. Additionally, I am also working with Jack, who is our new administrator, and if Jack would like to say anything, he's more than welcome to, but he's the new administrator, and we will be working together on the staff team, making sure everything's running smoothly and making sure the community is happy, generally.
How are you visioning the game in 6 months' time from now?
That is a good question, actually. Well, one of the things is right now, for launching the server, there definitely is not going to be all the features that we have planned. Like, as you know, we're not launching with ranked gameplay. So over the next couple of months after launch, we want to add in all the...
All right, I'm Kedrick. I'm one of the developers with John. We come from J&M Development, and we're here to work on the server and do a good job of it. And, create basically what Zizabeth and Nick Zizabeth are creating. So any questions about what how far we've come on development?
Yeah, if any of you have questions related to what's going on with the game, if you have questions like in-game things that you want to know about, like any features, now would be the time to ask, because the developers can kind of answer that. If not, I mean, pretty much so what's been going on with development is over the past month, we have been, well, when I say we, the developers have been working on putting together the lobby mechanics, which that will handle, well, I'm making myself look like an idiot here, but so basically the lobby mechanics have just been in progress, and then also they've been working on the game mechanics, and that's basically handling anything that deals with the champions, abilities, etc., anything like that.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
For the developers.
Mhm.
It's related to the clan system. Is there any thoughts going into the clan system, or any developing at all in that?
Currently we have no development for clans, but we do. I think we believe that we're gonna plan that later, maybe.
I could fill it in on that for you. Currently, the clans, or as we've decided to name them, the guilds, are a player-made online forum sort of thing. So basically, if you would like to create a guild, you would do so on the soon-to-be-added guild section on the forums, which will allow you to form your own team or your own miniature community, basically. You could use this guild to participate in your any tournaments that we would have, or any sort of competitive things that Kingdom Crashers releases.
Okay, that answers it for now. Thank you very much.
Did we have any other questions related for development? If not, we can move on to the next subject, which is more of the creative side of the server, dealing with the champions or artwork. We have one of the artists in the call, and then we have Nick. So if you want to ask any questions about that, now you can ask that.
Okay, basically, if you have any questions about the champions, items, or in-game content, or if you would like to ask Masteriano X about the art and 3D models, you could do so now. So if you have any questions, please say them.
Okay. Well, another thing about the in-game content, if you're not familiar with everything that's going on, is essentially we have taken inspiration from games such as League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, and other MOBAs, and we wanted to create our own MOBA within Minecraft. And another thing that I don't think we have really discussed yet with anyone is we want to release a new theme every month or every other month that will add in new champions, new maps, new cosmetics such as custom mobs, hats, weapons, because we're only going to be focusing on one game mode. And so to make it new, we are going to bring in fresh content all the time, so you don't have to worry about there not being new content being released. And eventually, when we start growing as a network, we're going to look into ideas of adding in variations of the game mode. Like if you know on Heroes of the Storm how they have the different types of variations, like hold the altars and stuff like that. So eventually we'll look more into that. But our next major update after Alpha is we're going to be releasing ranked gameplay, which will also bring in tournaments. So Nick, I don't know if you want to tell them a little bit about that, but you can say something about that.
After competitive gameplay releases, which should be in some time after the official release of Kingdom Crashers, there will be official monthly tournaments in which you can win all sorts of prizes, sometimes ranging from cash prizes to even physical prizes. Ranked gameplay will be sort of in the style of League of Legends, where you will have divisions and you will be playing games with where if you win, you will gather points and you can rank up in the competitive ladder. Now, more about these tournaments. All the tournaments will be, we've already got this planned. All of the tournaments will be placed in a 32-team format, which means 32 teams will have to register until a tournament starts. After that does happen, teams will be eliminated until 2 teams are left in the finals and 1 team takes victory. I also wanted to add that about monthly content, there will be a monthly theme, and with the monthly theme, we will have more champions added. 2 champions will be added at the start of each month, and 1 week, every week inside of the month, we will release another champion.
I have a question.
Nick,
yes.
I think it's directed towards you.
It is.
Yes, what is your question?
For these tournaments, the teams, are they 5v5 teams?
Yes, all of the tournaments will be in the 5v5 format in the 3-lane maps.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, so then one other subject that I'm just going to touch on before we open it for just general questions is, so this month's theme, for you who haven't noticed based on the website, is going to be like an Egyptian-based theme, and we do have a couple other non-Egyptian-based maps because our concept this month is kind of like exploration because we are a new server, so we want to do something on that side of things. So when you see the maps, they'll mainly be Egyptian-themed, and so just informing you on that. So now if anyone had any general questions, it could be related to anything about this project, now would be the time to ask. Okay, I'm taking it no one has any questions related to the general part of the project. Another thing is we'll be launching alpha testing, which is July 21st. And so for all of you who don't know, alpha will be a 7 to 14 day period, and it will be $10 to play during alpha. The main reason for this is you will be getting specific access to things that other people are not getting right now. So you get the first-hand look at things, and later down the road you'll be able to test champions before other people because you are supporting the server earlier in the beginning. And during alpha, it will last for 7 to 14 days, and after that time period we'll close the server for probably 5 days. It just depends on how much bugs that we find during alpha, because the main purpose of alpha is to also help us eliminate any bugs or errors that we're going to find in the code. That way when we publicly launch, you don't have to worry about any server downtime. And once we publicly launch, we'll be bringing on some YouTubers who will help promote the network. One of the YouTubers working with the network is RGA Gaming, if you want to go check him out and subscribe to his channel. And then we're just reaching out to some other people, but basically we'll probably do one more giveaway for an alpha pass, but if you're interested more about alpha, there is a post on our website all about that. Nick, did you have anything else that you wanted to add into this?
No, not really. Mycon said that he had another question.
Yeah, it's related to the alpha and the time span and all that. Where do you plan, like, how are you visioning the game in 6 months' time from now?
That is a good question, actually. Well, one of the things is right now for launching the server, there definitely is not going to be all the features that we have planned. Like, as you know, we're not launching with ranked gameplay. So over the next couple of months after launch, we want to add in all those features that we haven't had the time to add in, because right now we kind of just want to get it going. That way players can start playing and see if this is something they're interested in. But over the next 3 to 6 months, we want to add in ranked gameplay. We want to add in a bunch of new maps and champions and cosmetics and things like that. But also we want to look into the possibility of bringing in other variations of the game mode, like in Heroes of the Storm, where they have like capture the altars and different things like that, because we do want to change it up a little bit. And then this isn't something we've discussed a lot, but I know like me and Nick have briefly kind of mentioned like maybe a story mode, but obviously that's something we need to put a lot of planning into if we added that. But we do want to keep bringing in fresh content to the server, because one of the things is like when you play on other networks like Hive or Hypixel, they have a bunch of mini games, but we're focusing on a game mode, and in order to keep that content fresh, we want to bring in new features every month. So when we're releasing new features every month, it's kind of going to be like we're releasing a new game every month, but it's still using the same game mechanics that you're used to. Did that answer your question?
And if I may add on, where we would envision the server in 6 months would be hopefully with a lot more content, a bigger player base, and lots of people enjoying the game.
And we'll also be adding in things like quests and a bunch of different types of achievements that you can earn and just stuff like that. So over the course of the next couple months after we launch, you'll definitely be seeing a lot of features added that aren't there.
Okay, I have another quick question. Where do you, like, after the beta is released, when are you planning to launch? Can you give us like a rough date, like a month or something, for the actual launch?
Okay, well, we do know that alpha testing for sure is happening July 21st. This date is staying, so we don't have to worry about that being postponed. So during it really, I can give you a brief idea. It just really depends on the bugs that we find during alpha, because when we publicly launch, we will be bringing in a bunch of advertising. So once we bring in advertising, we don't want to risk the server going down. So we'll be doing everything in our power to make sure that when we launch for beta, that it's pretty much like 95% bug free. So I would say alpha testing will go for 7 to 14 days. So I would assume, let me open up my calendar here real quick. I would assume that we would be opening the public version of the server around the 5th of August or the 9th of August. So it will be sometime between the 5th and 9th of August.
Okay, but I was talking about the actual release, not the public release. So after beta, the first version of the game, if you call it.
So like the very first like complete version,
Yeah.
that is definitely, I can't give you a specific time on that yet because once we open beta, we're all going to sit down in a meeting and just go over what are the remaining features that need to be added because we do have things that are missing like ranked gameplay and all that. So I would say it would take probably at least another month, but keep in mind, we've already started planning next month's theme, so there will be definitely a lot of content coming in next month. So I would say like the first official version of the server would probably be about the end of August. We do want to bring in some champions too through like the way that we'll release champions is at the first of every month we'll release 2 champions and then every additional week there will be 1 new champion. And then at the first of every month we'll also release new maps and stuff like that. Nick, did you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say that the 2 champions that will always be released at the beginning of the month will be according to that month's theme, and the other 3 champions may or may not be fitting with that month's theme.
So did that answer your question, Mycon?
Yeah. It did. Thank you.
And then did anyone have any other last minute questions that they needed to fit in?
Hold on. There are some
Nick,
questions in chat that would that I would like to address. Another Nick, hello, is asking how many champions do you plan on releasing upon launch day? Upon official launch day, we hope to release around 20 to 25 champions, depending on how fast the game mode goes. Where do we get the inspirations from our champions? Well, you could say, where do I get the inspiration for the champions? Because currently I design all of the champions and I have a lot of them stored in my personal archive, and I plan to release them into Kingdom Crashers as time goes on. Will ganking and other typical Moba map strategies will possible on the maps? Yes, they will. And if anyone is not familiar what ganking is, as I just mentioned it, ganking is the jungler position in the game, randomly going into another person's lane to assist them. But yes, most Moba mechanics will be possible in Kingdom Crashers, except for, I can mention it now, wards and pings are not an addition we plan to add any time soon.
Yeah, one of the things that we've just been... Yes, sorry.
Beth, can you repeat, please?
Repeat what?
Last sentence.
Oh, we do not plan to add wards and pings, map pings, anytime soon into Kingdom Crashers.
Okay, thanks.
And one of the things that me and Nick have briefly discussed is in the future we might have the possibility of creating a custom launcher that will have a few add-ons, like mods that you can get, because our motto is we really don't want you to have to download any mods to play this, and right now you don't need to download any mods, but later down the road we might want to create a mod that adds in a mini-map like in League, but obviously that would be optional. You wouldn't need it to play the game. So if this is something that you would like, we'll put something on the form. Also, if you guys ever have any like suggestions or questions, or you want to like if you don't like something, you can tell us on the forum, because one of the things about our project is we want to really listen to the community and hear your voice, and we want to bring in some of your ideas to the server, because I think one of the things that a lot of big servers neglect to do is they make all these great games, but then once they're made, they don't really listen to the flayers. They don't really listen to the players' feedback about what they think of the game. And so we really want to have open ears and just hear your ideas for this, because that's one of the parts that's going to help us grow as a server. And then if you're interested in applying for any of our staff teams, we are still seeking helpers and moderators, which you can apply for that on our form. And then Nick is also recruiting people for the creative team. So if you were interested in that, there'll be more posts on the form about that.
Yes, I would like to fill in more information about that. I am currently recruiting people for the creative team, not only for champion and item design. I also need people to do creative writing, do our personal wiki, hint hint, and all of the stuff like that. Now, I wanted to get more into the custom launcher and minimap ideas. The custom launcher is currently an idea that is a work in progress, and we currently do not have any more discussion on it. But the minimap is an idea that rose very recently in our staff team. Right now, it is still very early in the planning stage, and we possibly plan to release a standalone mod for a launcher, if it does exist or not, that would allow people to have a mini-map of the map that people are playing, which will have tower statuses, enemy map locations, and fog of war and stuff like that. So basically, like any other MOBA game map. And I have a question in chat from Blitzdrum. What about summoner spells? Summoner spells are spells that are like tiny spells in the League of Legends, sort of like dashing forward, dealing damage over time, with a spell called Ignite. Summoner spells or anything like that will not be Kingdom Crashers anytime soon. That is subject to change for the future.
And then answering Nick's question in chat regarding, are all champions immediately accessible at launch, or will be earning in-game currency to unlock new champions? So to answer this question, all 5 champions that we are launching with will be free to play. As well, we will be having 1 champion for the theme of this month. However, that champion you will need to use your in-game currency to unlock. And then for every additional month, those champions are going to use in-game currency. The reason why we're giving you 5 free champions at launch is that way you can try out all the different roles on our server. But for future updates, you will have to use in-game currency. And so basically we have 2 different currencies. We have gold and we have shards. Gold is the primary currency that you're going to earn for playing games. And then shards is something that you'll get for if you win a game, if you're playing ranked gameplay, and also if you're voting, you'll get shards. That's more of the secondary currency. And so, yeah, that will also be applied for certain champions.
If I may fill in on this question, yes, as Tyler said, 5 champions that we release with will be free to play, if I am not wrong, at Alpha. And the newest champion, which comes with the theme of the month called Datura, will be currently only for people that purchase the Alpha Pass, or people that people that buy the champion with in-game currency. Now I wanted to talk about the new champion. The new champion is called Datura, the Eye of the Desert, and he is a desert-themed mage who specializes in keeping enemies at bay with crowd control abilities and a special mechanic called sandstone blocks. Not very original name, but I'm sorry. Okay, the first ability of Datura is excuse me. His basic attacks are augmented to throw blocks of sandstone, which will augment some of your abilities. Your second ability is sort of a quicksand pit, which you cast in front of yourself. If you have any sandstone blocks currently active on the map, they will also turn into quicksand pits. The third ability is a wall, which will form in front of you or from any sandstone blocks that you currently have active on the map. If any of these blocks are a certain range close to each other, they will link together, sort of. And the final ability will turn a certain area around the Tura into a danger zone, throwing multiple sandstone blocks at players. These sandstone blocks will also function just like the first ability, and you can also cast your augmented abilities from them. The passive ability of this champion is when, upon death, you will release 3 scarabs from your grave, which will fight your killer or anyone around the area you died in. Now I have questions in chat. How are the champions related to one another? The champions are not related to one another and are most of them will be released in according to that month's theme. The others won't have much relation into each other except for lore if we decide to add each other into any of them. Do they come from similar worlds, or is that information available in the lore? They're not from similar worlds. It's basically one world with more nations, more lands, so to speak. Some people wanted to ask questions. Mycon?
Yeah, my question is, you were earlier on speaking of maps and mini-maps regarding like a special launcher. My question is, like, at public release, what kind of information will we have on our screens, depending on, like, not sure if there's ult charge. No, I think it's on cooldowns. Like cooldowns, teammates' health, stuff like that.
I see what you're saying. So when we release during alpha, it will be in alpha as well. We're going to be taking advantage of multiple aspects of features such as the boss bar, your hunger bar, your EXP bar. Kedrick, you could probably actually talk about this, because weren't we talking about using like the, I don't even know what it's called, but you might know.
So like for bars and stuff, like for health and stuff like that?
Yeah, like where we'll display the health, their mana, and things like that. Like,
well, we have a couple of options. We have the boss bar at the top. We have experience bar. We have the health bar, the food bar. We have armor bar. We could use that a little bit. We have chat. I mean, that's always an option if we need to. There's also holograms that we could use, display it in front of the player and then show how much health they have. There's a bunch of ways that we could do it.
Yeah, and then we'll also take advantage of the scoreboard, and we might even use the tab. So right now we're currently just doing a bunch of just different tests, but once we get closer to being done with testing out the game mechanics in about a week, 10 days, then I could probably give you more information on this. Now, regarding I Love You question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll answer these. Will or has there been thought about whether or not there will be special updates for things like holidays or like Halloween? Yes, there has been a lot of thought put into holiday updates, and yes, they will exist. There will be special content for the things like for things like Christmas, Halloween, April Fool's, Valentine's Day, and there will be special sales and stuff like that. Anyways, moving on to the next question. Will there be competitive matchmaking and competitive ranks to go with it? If there is, yes, that question was already answered earlier. There will be a competitive mode where you can climb up the ladder with certain divisions after winning a game.
All right, so now at this point, if you have any other last minute questions, now would be the time to ask. We're just kind of going to get into the closing notes, and So if you had any other questions, just
I
type it
have
in
one.
chat or feel free to say it.
I have one.
Yep. Yes.
Is it gonna be a rotation system? Champion rotation?
I can answer that one. A free-week champion rotation currently is in the planning, but we're not sure whether to add it or not. We are leaning towards yes, but we still have some planning stages to go through.
Okay, and I have another question. What about community ideas of champions?
Excuse me, could you repeat that?
I want to ask about community champions ideas.
Community champion ideas. That's a great question, actually. Community champion ideas will be taken into account when the creative team really discusses and puts their thought into a community champion idea and sees whether it would be good to actually put into the game, develop how well it would work with the other champions. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks for this.
So I would like to just add one last thing. So for all of you, I'm pretty sure you've all gotten to know our website. If not, you can go to kingdomcrashers.net and it will redirect you to our website. And if you just sign up for an account, you can get updated with the latest information and stuff like that about our server. Also, if you miss anything in this Q&A, we'll be uploading a video, and that video will also show some content in the lobby that none of you have seen yet. So I highly suggest you check out that video because we might even show you a couple champions and stuff like that. So I'll be doing a post on the website about that a little bit later today, and you'll be able to see the lobby, which no one has seen yet, and some cool features. Other than that, AJ, Nick, any last minute regards that you'd want to say? Any other questions?
Yes.
Well, I'll talk before Nick.
Actually,
So-
you can say first.
Okay. So if you guys have any questions about staff or how the staff team works, we could always use another applicant, so feel free to apply. Basically, I'm just here to help, so if you guys have any community ideas, I'll be working with Nick as well, so I'll bring any ideas you guys may have. We want the server to be catered to the community and making sure that everybody's voice is heard, not as Tyler said before. So if you guys have anything, just post on the forums and just message me if you need any help. All right? Thanks for coming.
Well, I assume that's the end of the Q&A. Thank you for joining the first official Kingdom Crashers question and answer session. I will leave this to Tyler, and bye-bye!
Yeah, I want to thank all of you for coming, and we really appreciate your support throughout this project. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be pretty busy, so if you do have questions, probably the best place to ask it is going to be on the forums, just because we get hundreds of messages a day throughout our Discord, and they get lost really easily, so you can just direct message us a question on the forum, and that's just probably the best place for any communication related to the server. So I want to thank all of you again for attending this Q&A session, and we'll be posting a post on the forum shortly with a video of some cool content you haven't seen and just a summary of this meeting. Thank you again. Have a nice day.
Yes, one more thing I would like to add before we end off this question and answer session. It is officially my birthday in 2.5 hours, so please give me some love.